Alright, I know it's a bit unconventional for the channel, but, I mean, maybe not too unconventional, but I'm here to talk about the newly released Banban 4. The fourth chapter of the Banban series. It just released, yesterday. And, listen, I have been a Ban fan ever since the first game. Vaguely. Here's my relationship with it. When the first game came out, it was a very funny punching bag. The game was, it was hilarious, actually. The environments were they just felt contrived. They felt unimaginative. It felt like the bottom of the barrel indie horror concept with some goofy looking characters and a really bizarre, layout which prided itself on key cards and drone push button mechanics. And that was very strange. And then Banban 2 came out, and it was technically better, but I still thought of it as a joke. But then the third game came out, and I kind of was, my opinion turned on it. Not turned on it, it turned on its head. And what I saw in it was weirdly hopeful. You see, at the end of... Well, let me just lay out Banban 3, why I think Banban 3, while not good, it had the makings of an actual game. You see, let's speak of a better understanding of puzzles. In the first game, there wasn't really any puzzles. It was a color match, and there was a few drone hit button with drone, which is really turn your brain off, push a button type thing. In the second game, it gets a little bit better, I guess. You click some buttons in the right order, and then you click some buttons in the right order, and you use some drones to push some buttons in the right order, and overall, a lot of button pushing. Oh, yeah, that was a lot of button pushing. Damn. In retrospect, wow. And in the third game, they had a puzzle in which that was more of, I think, Banban's style. Not style as in unique style, but something that would benefit the series more. And that was the Nabnalina kind of resurrection scene in which you try to bring her back. And the Euphoric brothers attempt a resource management room in which you have to, from what I remember, make Gavanium vials, keep colored lights on the wall in the correct color, and push a button on the wall with the drone. And you have to focus on those 3 tasks, and if you fail focusing on one of the tasks, then Nabnalina wakes up, somehow kills you. It's fine. It's better because there's actually a threat, like a lose penalty. There's something to be worried about when the timer goes down. And it has the making of a really fun puzzle, when that maybe is even stressful, but their implementation was kind of weird. The playthrough I saw of it, because I don't play these games, they're all walking simulators. That's my justification for not needing to play this, because genuinely I believe maybe someone could have an argument with me about this, but I think you get the same experience watching it as you do playing it. And I'm not going to talk about, how the controls feel, really. It's the point being that the playthrough I saw of it, they kind of mess it up in execution because the person I saw playing it forgot one of the 3 mechanics that exists. There was the colored vials on the wall, and you have to switch them to the right color, but they didn't know how to do that, and so they didn't do that. But the timer didn't go down enough, or go down fast enough to where you actually needed to do that. It was a resource management game, or a puzzle, but you didn't have to manage one of the resources at all. It was kind of bizarre. And, what was the other puzzle? There was a... Oh yes, the Banbalina box sequence in which the threat or the lose penalty is Jumbo Josh seeing you and game ending you, presumably. I haven't seen the jump scare for that one. And there were nice ideas. I quite liked that. It seemed like it had more content than two. And as well, the dream sequences by Stinger Flynn were absurdist. They were funny. I thought that if there was any way or anywhere Banban could go, I thought it'd lean more into the absurdism. I mean, the puzzle in which you try and make Nab Nab a girlfriend is really funny in concept because he's so lonely. And I thought that maybe leaning into that and making it more of a, like a, what's the word? Not a fourth wall break, but a kind of reflection of itself, like a parody of the genre in a sense, would do it some good. In which it still has itself, like it still tries to take itself seriously, but it's just really absurd. Like it tries to take absurdity seriously and like make the whole game a fever dream. I think that would have been a really good place for like the game to go. And it showed like it was going there with the Stinger Flynn sequences in which, because like, have you ever seen the FNAF game in which like you're driving a Mercedes with Purple Guy? Like no, it's new. It's like it's kind of like unexpected. And that extends even to the ending of the game, in which, presumably at the end of 3, Banban gets his head caved in by Jumbo Josh, and Jumbo Josh suplexes Stinger Flynn. Tartarbird falls off a high place and is presumed dead, and Opila jumps after him and is also presumed dead. By the end of the game, like, we're meant to believe that 5 of the main characters died, which is, like, crazy, and would totally work, because there are, like, 13 main characters. Like what? There's Banban, Banbalina, Nabnalina, who I guess is dead. I'm not sure about Nabnalina in 3. And then there's Jumbo Josh, Stinger Flint, Captain Fiddles, Slow Celine, Sheriff Toadster, the Kangaroo one, Bouncelia, I think her name is, and then the Jester now, and Opila Mini. And I think I've missed both Opila. So Opila Tartarbird. That's like 14 of them. So you cut that down by 5. And not only is it like, oh wow, there's stakes. People can die here. Maybe it establishes, maybe Jumbo Josh lives and is established as a threat. Like, you get to know the extent of Jumbo Josh's fists. Maybe it gives a greater weight to the Opila Bird child, because the 4th game opens kind of on that loose end from 3, in which the childless parent is put together with the fatherless bird, or parentless bird. And that would go great. That would go great as a survival bonding type thing, where you get to see these characters that need each other and they can build a meaningful relationship over the course of the entire game's worth. And it sets up like so many expectations for 4, because what I saw in that was that the Euphoric brothers are willing to take risks. They are willing to take the indie game formula and throw it out the window to surprise you. The namesake of the series is dead. 4 other characters are dead. The puzzles are getting better. It's getting more absurd. Who knows what's gonna happen next? And then 4 happens. And it turns out no one died at all. And Opila Bird Mini is really just a plot device. Not even a plot device, just a mechanic that's only around for... it's used as a companion cube from Portal in the first 10 minutes. And then it's used as, those Roblox, find the correct path. It's used as a part of that puzzle. And then after you get kind of the first MacGuffin of the chapter, it just takes a back seat, and it's not around. And maybe in retrospect, having the emotionless, expressionless main character with the emotionless, expressionless bird, maybe it is really hard to actually tell a story between 2 planks of wood and make it emotional, but I'm surprised that they didn't even try. As well, I'm surprised that they didn't kill off anybody. It's like a big retcon. It's like there's no stakes at all. Like, if none of them can die, even though Banban seriously should have, then how am I supposed to believe that Nab Nab dies and Banban kills Nab Nab later in Chapter 4? And it's just disappointing. Like, they even retconned Stinger Flynn's height. Like, Stinger Flynn was meant to be gigantic. He took up an entire room, and yeah, like, maybe he shrunk a little during the fight with Jumbo Josh. But then he shrunk so much in the 4th chapter. And by the end of it, he can fit on the elevator. He's, like, tiny now. He's, like, at the size of Sheriff Toadster. That's not supposed to be... Like, they don't explain that in the main game, in the main storyline. Maybe it's in an Easter egg, but they don't explain it. Like what else am I supposed to take from that, other than they made his height too big in 3, so it'd be a big reveal, and then they realized they couldn't do anything with that and then shrunk him. Same with, maybe they killed off all the characters, and then they realized, oh, well, we actually want to do something with Banban, let's just bring him back. And it's so disappointing, because they had all these good setups for really, like, not maybe an impactful moment, but an intriguing plot that can get, like, more interesting. And then they remove all the stakes. Then they make deliberate decisions that are very noticeable, that are damaging to the story's integrity. And that's just the story part. Like, the game is like an hour, it's like an hour 10 long. It's same as like Chapter 2, Chapter 3, but it has a higher price tag on Steam now. Instead of being $7, which is what Banban 2 and 3 was, which is very understandably overpriced. I'm just going to say it out loud. It's overpriced. For an hour of content, with most of it just being button pushing, $7 is too much. But, you know, everyone refunds it anyway, right? But Chapter 3 is like $13 on Steam. And I don't know why they thought that this game was worth $13, because I think it delivers less content than 3. Like, it's a walking simulator to its fullest. It's a backtracking simulator. Like, you go down the elevator, you meet Sheriff Toadster, and then you walk across this comically large plank of wood to get to the castle. Then you walk up some comically large stairs to get to Bouncelia, who's like the queen or something. Well, I know, she's the queen, period. And then once that's done, you walk down the comically large stairs and walk up another flight of comically large stairs to get to the comically sideways elevator, which just is really bizarre. It just takes too long. Like, why'd you need an elevator? Like, they use it sometimes to use the dead space so characters can talk, but characters don't always talk, like, during the dead space. And so and there's no music. There's no elevator music. A lot of the game actually has no, like, music at all. Like during the elevator, during the Jumbo Josh, well, technically Jumbo Josh, his iconography's there. During the kind of spot the difference puzzle. There's no music, I don't think. And it's just really barren for some reason. And then you go get, like, the MacGuffins. Like, the basis of the plot is that there are 3 gears that you need for the elevator to get it moving again, because apparently your child's on the 3rd floor, even though you just were on the 3rd floor. But you need to get back to the 3rd floor now is the basis. So you need 3 gears to put it back in the elevator, then to go back up. And you have to collect each gear. then you get one gear, go back to the elevator, then you go get the second gear, you go back to the elevator, you go get the third gear, you go back to the elevator. So it's like, and this being like the elevator, not the sideways elevator, that's a different thing. So it's like you walk across the comically large plank of wood, go up the comically large stairs, Bouncelia. Go down the comically large stairs, go up a different set of comically large stairs, go to the sideways elevator, go through whatever puzzle's there. The puzzle is like it relegated to their 3 sections. Then you get the gear. Then you backtrack through, like you walk back, like you go back through the entire place. Like there's no, say, Metroidvania type level design which wraps around on itself. So there's a shortcut that's like, oh, I was at the last room, but I just walked through the store, now I'm back at the elevator. No, you gotta walk back through the whole thing. And you go through the sideways elevator again, you go down the comically large stairs, you walk across the comically large wood plank, then you get to the elevator. Sheriff Toadster will deposit it, that's where you put Opelabird for the rest of the game. Then you walk across the comically large wood board, you go up the comically large stairs to Vancelia, then you go to the infirmary, find out Banban's not dead, then you go up the comically large stairs to the sideways elevator. Next part. You get the idea. It's so bizarre that even in, like, this blows my mind, honestly. Like, and this leans into my next point, it's the puzzles. It's like, with Banban 3, I mentioned that there was the Nabnalina puzzle in which you have to resurrect Nabnalina, and if you fail to do so, then you die. I assume Nabnalina kills you, right? And then if you get caught by Jumbo Josh in the other Banban 3 puzzle, then you get nuked by Jumbo Josh. But in the 2 puzzles, or say in the chase sequence in which Banban tracks down Nab, it's a chase scene. But you're not the one being chased, Nab is, and Banban's chasing Nab, nothing is chasing you. You can take your sweet-ass time. The point is that you get from A to B, and when you get to B, you find out that the chase is already stopped, or, well, Banban beats up Nab without your help, and then you have to backtrack through which you just ran through in order to get back to the elevator. And then there's the other puzzle in which it's a spot the difference through this entire room. I don't think that one has music, and there's no lose condition. Like there's no lose penalty. I mean, like there's nothing that's stopping you. And there's another like puzzle with the drone in which you have to guide a drone around, hit a few buttons. That one doesn't have any kind of obstacle either. And it's bizarre, because a lot of the game just doesn't have any threats. Because, canonically, they're all locked up in jail by Sheriff Toadster. Like, there is a boss fight, which I have no clue how it works, genuinely at all. Like, I watched someone play through it, I have no clue what they did. But through a lot of the puzzles, there's just no stakes. And at the end of this ramble, I would also like to mention the Jester, Bouncelia, Sheriff, Toadster plotline. But like by the end of the game, like floor 4 of the Banban kindergarten gets nuked, I guess, because of something with Bouncelia, how her kangaroo pouch has some magic in it that'll take the whole thing down. And Jester, for some reason, the condition to let loose is to make her laugh, and so that's what the Jester's goal is. And so the Jester succeeds, and I guess the whole floor goes under. But it doesn't really mean anything to me, because there's nothing on floor 4. Like, no one lives there. There's nothing worth protecting, and we just met Bouncelia, and Bouncelia hasn't done anything, and no one dies, and like there's no stakes. Like there was nothing worth protecting on floor 4. Now it's like, okay, Toadster's still here. I guess we get to walk behind him some more in the next game. Stinger Flynn's still here. Okay. He's asleep, I guess. When he's on the elevator, he doesn't say anything. And, yeah, I genuinely don't know. I don't know what to expect from 6. I almost said 5 there, because I don't know what's going on with 5. 5 has a Steam page. Banban 5 has a Steam page. But there's nothing really telling about it. Like, it has kind of meddled screenshots of Banban 1. And I'm worried that they're going to do some Pokemon type shit where they release an augmented version of Banban 1 and try and sell that. I don't know if they'll do that. The more realistic thought I have is that they're going to compile all the earlier Banbans and put that into one game, Banban 1 to 4, and then call it 5. Or maybe they compile 1 to 4, then add 6 in it, they both release at the same time. I'm a little surprised, because I thought they were going to go completely for a Bendy and Ink Machine thing where they do just 5 chapters, that's it. 5's a good number. But now that we're at 6, now that 6 is coming soon, how far are they going to go with this? I don't know. 10? 15? As long as they can? Like, I'm an ironic Banban supporter, but for a brief moment at the end of 3, I was genuinely excited for what these two game devs could make. And now that Banban 4 has come out, I am disappointed. I am disappointed that they fumbled it so hard. Just the moment that, like, what was the turtle's name? Chamataki and Tamataki? The moment that Tamataki and the other one, like, bursts out of those teal doors at the beginning of chapter 4, I felt my heart drop a little as the player ran through orange hallways that didn't have any decorations at all, nor any real cohesion on why it'd be built like that. It's just turn after turn with no rhyme or reason. And then a really poorly done animation of the two of them getting stuck in a small crevice in the hallway. Like, for the intro of the game, I feel like you could have put more work into that. The Monstero birds, for some reason, animated quite decently. I don't know who they got for that, but I wonder if, like, maybe one of the Euphoric brothers did that, but it was just at the end of development, since it was, like, one of the last things put in, and they just spent extra time on that, and maybe they'll use that effort in the next game, or they got some third party to come in and do that. I can get, like, kind of the problem, like, kind of stunting on development, because, you know, I'm an artist, but I sucked at art for a long time just because I wouldn't look up any YouTube tutorials. Once you look up tutorials, it's like, well, you know things now, right? And you get better at art because you start knowing things, you start thinking about things, you start trying things. And I just wonder what their practice routine is. Oh, anyway, how long have I been going on for? Holy fuck, 28 minutes. Okay, Jesus. Thank you for... That came out a lot more coherently than I thought it would. Even so, it's probably the best I can do in terms of coherence. I'm off script, but I didn't feel like writing a whole script for this. I feel like I can do this without a script. Thank you for listening. Bye.